In this series, we have looked at the fact that global warming is happening today. We are the ones causing it, and the consequences will be dire. In this segment, we're going to look at the risks objectively.
The skeptics are trying to get us away from the facts that the IPCC said all this bad stuff happens at 2 degrees. And remember, at 2 degrees, we start to tip some positive feedback loops. So how bad could it get? Well, things can go from bad to very, very bad. What's the worst that could happen? Say at 5 degrees? At 5 degrees, we'll have billions of people becoming water refugees. And again, they're just not going to stay there. They're going to move like we see in Africa today. Sea levels are going to rise 1 to 5 meters, creating hundreds of millions of more refugees. Disease from poor water and insects are going to rise dramatically. Food production is going to drop by 50% or more, not only because of the temperature, but salt inundation and the lack of irrigation water. Famine and war are going to erupt across the globe. We're going to have economies failing, hyperinflation, stagflation. And in a word, this is going to be a catastrophe. It'll be the end of civilization as we know it. This is what we're looking at if we get to 5 degrees. The end of civilization as we know it. Maybe not in my lifetime, but certainly in my kids' lifetime and certainly in my grandchildren's lifetime. So whenever you hear this doom and gloom, you've got to ask yourself, well, what are the odds? I mean, what's really the chances of this happening? I mean, there is a chance that mutant space gerbils from Alpha Centauri are going to invade the Earth and devour us. Okay? So should we spend a whole bunch of resources and build a mutant space gerbil shield for the Earth? You've got to figure out what are the odds of this. Well, the scientists have worked this out. Researchers at MIT have actually created in 2001 something called the greenhouse gamble wheel. It goes round and round and round she goes, and where it stops, well, who knows? And they worked out the odds of the Earth warming up at certain degrees. So we're talking about 5 degrees. So what are the odds of the Earth warming up 5 degrees or more? 1 chance in 26. Now, I don't know if any of you here own a home, but probably if you own a home, you have house insurance, fire insurance, car insurance. What's the odds of your house burning down? 1 in 1,000? 1 in 10,000? It's more like 1 in 100,000. But you buy insurance, even though it's only 1 in 100,000 chance that your house is going to burn down. But you buy that insurance just in the case that the worst does happen, you're not devastated economically. So here's 1 chance in 26. Are we really prepared to take that risk that our whole civilization is going to end? 1 chance in 26? Here are the other odds. 2 and above. If you add up, the chance of us warming up 2 degrees or more is actually 2 chances in 3. And the chance of us being 2 degrees or less is 1 chance in 3. That was in 2001. In 2009, in March, the MIT researchers looked at this again with more recent findings. Now they discovered the odds of us warming up 7 degrees or more is 1 chance in 11. We never talked about 7 degrees before. There's a 9% chance we're going to warm up 7 degrees or more. 6 to 7 degrees, 15% chance. 5 to 6 degrees, 33% chance. You add this up. The odds today that we're going to warm up 5 degrees or more is over 50%. In fact, they went on to show that the chances of us being 3 degrees or less is only 1%. Just 1 chance in 100 there will only be 3 degrees. We're taking a risk here that we should not be taking. What are the odds that the deniers are wrong? So if a denier comes up and he says, don't worry about global warming, it's not going to happen. Ask them, what are the odds that you're right? What are the odds that you're wrong? 1 in 10? 1 in 100? 1 in 1,000? Whatever number he comes up with, is that a risk you want to live with? So in summary, we are taking a risk we should not be taking. The climate is changing. There's no doubt about that. We are the ones causing it. There's no doubt about that. And the consequences will be bad. Maybe even very, very bad. So what do we do about this? Are we doomed? Can we do anything significant? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in the next section after a break. So this is the cliffhanger.
In the